Hello, good evening, David.
Good evening, Peter.
How you doing?
I am tired, I'm honest.
Tired, are you?
Yeah.
What's been
Long
on?
day.
I'm actually coming at. Do you know that? I'm coming at. I got the double thing on Friday. I got the flu jab and the booster. Lying in each arm, whack. And I must admit, yesterday was pretty poor. But today's come at. It's been lovely seeing the family again and getting back to normal, and we're away swimming and things, so it's been fine.
Swimming in the sea?
Because the kids have been up staying in, Karen and the kids have been up staying in Mid-Yale because we're getting insulation put in the house. So it's a bomb site. So I've just come up to see them for the weekend. So it's really good. Lovely to see so many folk joining us tonight. There's an amazing amount of people joining us tonight. We've got a great show coming up for you tonight, folks. We've got two fantastic guests. We've got the accordionist Alasdair MacDonald, and we have Craig Muirhead, the piper, singer, a bit of everything. He's an amazing. Alasdair might want to sing there as well, just to make up for that. That might be what's going on.
Maybe. Stranger things happened.
But keep the comments coming in, folks. I see loads and loads of comments coming in there already. That is fantastic to see. I noticed Isabel Gardner had been watching Ian McPhail's band in Haddington today at an accordion club. That's great to see some wee things starting to get going again. Bits and pieces going. Anything you want to tell us? Anything you want to ask the guests? That's the way to go. Anything we want to mention tonight at the beginning of the show?
Just a reminder for everyone that we are in to the final day, it ends at midnight, of the Trad Awards voting.
Oh yes, that's right.
If you have voted, have a different email address, then please feel free to vote again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can go on at any point in time and do that. That's great. And if you are, our second guest is involved as well, actually. Yes. Craig Muirhead, he's nominated for Instructor of the Year, I believe.
Correct.
So jump in there if you feel like voting for us. That would be wonderful. If you don't, vote for somebody else. That's it, really, isn't it?
If you don't vote.
No, vote for somebody else. Show us how popular this music is. That's what the whole point of the thing is, to let us see what's going on.
Also, if you're not watching this live, which I know folk don't, they're from Australia, if you're not watching this live, then please do not try and vote if you're watching on catch up, because your vote will not be counted, but you may still be don't charge, do they? No, it's free.
No, there's no charge. There's no charge. This is not like they're going to win £1 million or anything like that. That's it. Listen, wonderful figures watching this show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but please still share. Hit the share button, share as much as possible for us. That would be absolutely fantastic. As I say, and go for it. Here's a wee tune that I recorded the other day. We had a guest on about 3-4 weeks ago, a chap called Ronnie Ross, Ronnie from outside Inverness, box player, and he brought a wee book of music out. And if you like his tunes, if you get in touch with Ronnie, he's actually giving them to folk. He's just wanting his tunes out there. And this is a wee polka he wrote called the River Ness, isn't it? Yeah. See, well, we're about to see, because it tells us on the video, thankfully, because my memory's like a sieve. So, but here's a wee one that I just racked up. So get your feet tapping to this, and mind, keep these comments coming in. Let's know where you are. We love to know where you are all over the world. There's Stephen saying he's had to switch to his phone. Sometimes, folks, if you're watching on a laptop or a iPad, a lot of folk have said that they get a far better reception on their iPhone. Elizabeth Mann in Midyell. Elizabeth's house is about 50 yards from where I'm sitting at the window just now, so that's really cool.
Just open the window?
Yeah, she could just open the window and she could hear us, couldn't she? That would be fine.
Anyway, let's hear this tune.
Here we go. The Ness Polka. It's a smashing wee tune, that, isn't it?
Was that the Wood Band?
The Wood Band. Doing a bit of everything and all that nonsense. Listen, my mother-in-law and stage manager, a costume designer, Julia, just came through and said, "You've not got a poppy on." So she's made me one. Look, in 5 minutes, she made me a poppy. Which brings me back to, we kind of cut you off earlier on. You are pretty tired tonight, but why? Tell the people why.
I was playing as part of the Remembrance Parade with the Royal Air Force Centre Scotland in Glasgow. So
Fantastic. Was that a big turnout today?
it was, yeah, George Square. It was very, very busy.
Fantastic. So was that the 3 bands or just your band today?
Just Centre Scotland.
Central Scotland band. Yeah, good. It's always very poignant, and it's nice to see that there's been a wee bit more activity for the Remembrance Day this year than there was last year, but still a lot held back. But
yeah,
nice to see it. Nice to see it going on. Anyway, wonderful to see so many people. Keep sharing about, folks. Keep sharing about. One wee quick thing before we bring our guest on. If we happen to win the Trad Awards, you'll need something to drink a wee dram out of, won't you? And Davey, have we got the very thing here? Remember, we're a total non-profit thing, but anything we sell, we give to charity, any profits.
To be fair, we're actually less than non-profit at the moment. We're actually losing money.
Yeah, we're losing money. Yeah, but that's what happens. We do it for the love of it and all that. Yeah. We're not exactly... we're not going to Dragon's Den with this one, are we?
No. Now, don't tell anyone, but there's Christmas is coming up, so...
Is there? Okay. Yeah, that would be the very thing, a Tartan Tunes. But so here you go. Here's the wee advert, and then maybe we'll tell you where to get it.
Yeah.
There we go. A Tartan Tunes mug.
Go there.
What?
And David Owen can confirm that they get sent out rather sharpish. Because he got one on Friday, I think. Thursday, Friday.
Do you see that comment? My wife's just put up, Strictly has finished, so we've tuned in to you now.
That's not what it says.
That means they've missed my bit.
That's not what it says. What it actually says is, Strictly is finished, so we've turned you on.
Do you see there's some cracking comments, Scott. Abigail Pride said she's waiting to see Alasdair MacDonald coming on with her Tartan Tunes mug. These are going to be collector's items. This is going to be something they're going to look back 50 years on and said, what? Ali Meek had to pick us up. Did you not give Ali Meek a freebie when he done your kitchen for you? What?
No, he didn't. Long before that.
Pete's sake. Right, anyway, folks, listen, can't wait to bring on this young man. This is a great player. We've got some great videos to show you here. I'm really looking forward to this. I've been watching these all weekend, picking up what he's doing, and he's got a rather splendid bass hand thing going on as well that really impresses me. So all the way tonight, not originally from here, but he's in Mullingavi. Oh, sorry, Mulgai, isn't it? He's in Mulgai. Hello, Alasdair MacDonald. Alasdair, how are you doing?
Not bad, thanks. Yourself?
Oh, fantastic. Great that you could join us, Alasdair. It's magic. But tell us. You're not from Mulgai originally. You're from a wee place called Poolew up on the west coast of Scotland.
Yeah, so I'm up northwest. Just kind of about, usually kind of introducing myself to people. People don't know where Poolew is, so it's roughly kind of it's on a map. It's lodged in between Ullapool and Skye. So yeah, it's pretty out in the middle of nowhere.
I'm lucky that I used to 30 odd years ago play in a wee folk duo with a chap called Andy Ramage. It was called Harness, and we used to play in the Poolew Hotel quite regularly sometimes, and it was great fun. And the last owner I can remember having it was a guy that they called Shuggy Johansson, who was an Icelandic. Icelandic. He played for Celtic. He was a footballer.
Yeah. I don't know where he ended up in the end, but no, I do. My old man.
Yeah.
Did a lot of him. Yeah.
I remember that, going there and finding this guy, and I remember the guitar player going, "Oh my God, that fellow was a very good footballer and famous at one point in time." And then he took us through and showed us his scrapbooks and things. So it was pretty amazing. But I used to love going up there, and I remember somebody taking me out in a boat once to show me a sea eagle off Bullew once as well, which was quite an experience. That was it's a lovely place. So growing up in Bullew area, was there much music going on in that particular area? Or?
Yeah, well, the reason I got into playing the accordion was just generally because it was a fantastic Cayley season in Bullew. Like every summer, there's a kind of just through kind of the summer holidays, maybe a wee bit extended past it. There's a Cayley season that goes all the way through. There's some fantastic bands that have played up there. There's the likes of Roya McLean and Myra Green. She's played Joe Pete. A lot of great box players, and they're obviously the ones that I'm kind of looking at. But there's a fantastic case, and there used to be my granny used to run the local mods in Bullew. They're unfortunately no longer a thing anymore. But so kind of got through learning kind of music through the mods as well. And eventually went to do like national mods and stuff like that as well. So, like Bullew it's definitely, there's a lot of good players as well to come out of Bullew. There's actually Conal McDonough as well. You probably know him. He's a fantastic piper and whistle player. He went to Plockton after Bullew and that.
Because I mean, you were just along the road for Alt Bay as well. Because when you go way back in history to the older dance bands, you're naming a lot of the newer players there, but Andrew Rankin and people like that. Andrew Rankin wrote the tune Willie McLean, the Alt Bay for Willie McLean that lived there. So all these bands in the late 50s, 60s were all touring up there, and playing right around that area for dances and all that, So it was a thriving scene at one point in time, But I used to love going up that area. It was very good. You ended up going to the Royal Conservatoire. We're going to speak a bit more about where you learnt and things before that, but it's just to lead us on to the first wee track of music we've got here, folks. This is I think is this one of your recitals that you've done at the end of a year, possibly, is it? Yeah,
so this was this video was done for my very final recital, which thankfully was in person, rather than it was kind of all online. I think for my third year. It was my fourth year recital, and it's I think a set of own composition tunes.
Fantastic. So here you go, folks. Here's Alasdair. Not that long ago, so you'll enjoy it. Great. Yes, fantastic, man. That's driving. Loved it though. Really subtle.
What's the boy's name that was sitting on the stage? Really? It's a Galaxy, isn't he? What's his name again?
Yeah, so that was Rudy Gray, who is a photographer. Yeah, so I did a Galaxy song kind of thing, and I accompanied him during the recital. I've not put him in, but he did sit there through the majority of the recital, so just in that seat. So
I wondered if he was just sitting there just to make sure you behaved yourself or something like that. Or he maybe had one of these big shepherd's crooks beside him, and if things were going wrong, get that boy off. Listen, that's amazing playing, and a complete mixture of absolutely subtle to completely fired up there. Really, really nice playing. All your own tunes? Give us a wee bit of info, names, anything like that?
Yeah, so the first one, the waltz was written about a lovely lady back home in Pillue, and when my grandfather, he was he lost his mobility, got old, and she was fantastic, going in and out every day, even just giving him a cup of tea, giving the paper and that. Oh. And her name was Pearl McLennan, so I called that the Pearl of Pillue. And then the next tune is called The Accidental Hose Instant, which so I worked during the summer when I was at uni. I had a summer job in Inverview Gardens. It's National Trust property. Fantastic gardens. If anyone gets the chance to go and see, it's amazing. So if you're into that, so yeah, so I was hosing. There's plants for sale. I was hosing this lot of plants, and it was a very old hose to be there, and I ended up soaking a customer by complete accident because the hose burst off of the the kind of wheel thing that it rolls up into. So yeah, it was a bit embarrassing, to be honest with you, but yeah, that's what that was about. And then final tune, I named it the Ben Lomond Descent. Just after the second lockdown, myself and a group of pals went up Ben Lomond, and it was a great day out. Couldn't see an awful lot. It was pretty foggy, so a bit of a shame, but and it was pretty sore on the knees coming back down, but it was a good day nonetheless. So
I think you're with me there. I would prefer the descent than the ascent.
Yeah. So
I mean, I could pretty much descend downhill, no problems at all, just by rolling.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Because and it's quite interesting that you ended up gardening, because of course up your way at Pillue, the Inverview Gardens right next door to you.
Yeah, well, so I wasn't actually a gardener, but I kind of just worked in like the visitor centre and the shop kind of area. But it's just kind of watered plants and all that. Great fun.
Yeah, there's Jamie Starr on this now. Jamie's a piper, and he also is a coach driver, and he does all the tours and that. And I know he's been up round to Gairloch a couple of times in the last couple of months. So he's been up round your way. So it's fantastic. Well, fantastic tunes. That's brilliant. So growing up, who was your tutor in your area then? To begin with?
So I've had a good amount of tutors, to be honest. So
have you fallen out of them all or something?
No. None of them have ended. Something bad circumstances have ended up.
That's good.
So no, the first one I think she used to learn box herself. She kind of got me first started. Used to work in the local swimming pool. And then there was Trish MacDonald, who is she's a great box player. And
do you know what's interesting that when you say about somebody just starting you that worked in a local swimming pool or something like that, I sometimes think these are the unsung heroes of the music industry, because if it hadn't been for these people giving us a wee nudge or a wee start, we maybe never would have got there, and it's just, you hear that so many times, and then as obviously we progress on to better tutors, etc. But without that starting building block, sometimes it would have been impossible nearly, so.
You can just imagine, no bombing, no running, just to fix your bass hand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What fingers are you using in that bass hand? Just hear it.
I had Trish MacDonald. She was fantastic. Had her for a good number of years, and then I had various kind of face tutors, just through the face. They did kind of workshops and box tutors that came to the area, and then for a good while I had Diane Mearns. I don't know Diane. She's absolutely great. She's based in Perth, and they had a fantastic band, Donnie and Diane.
Donny and Diane, and they recorded so many albums over the years.
Yeah.
In fact, I recorded one album with Lindsay Weir at their place many years ago, the Smith Merms. But the fantastic people. Yeah, Donny's great man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I had her for years, and then I then kind of self-taught myself for a bit, and then went to the RCS and got taught by Ian Muir for 4 years. So that was Ian's
a great pal of mine. Way back years ago, I used to go abroad with him playing and things, and have many stories about him that I could tell you if you want them. Just ask someday. And it's great. We actually had him on the show one night as well. He was great. He done what really was great. The next wee tune, by the way, Davey, thanks very much there. I was really impressed about that wee joke about the accordion there. I was expecting something about accordion and a deep end coming in there. I just saw you climbing up towards it, and I thought we're going to have some story about.
I would never do that about an instrument.
Accordion at the bottom of the sea and all that kind of stuff. I was just waiting for it, but never mind. Anyway, there we go. Listen, this next wee track we're going to hear from you, Alasdair, it's a Gaelic one. Are you a Gaelic speaker?
I took it in school. I took like the learners course. I took it all the way to advanced higher when I was in school, but I've not spoken it in years, so I've completely lost it. But I'd like to take it back up again eventually. But
I had to take we had to take French or something like that at school, and I still can't speak that. But we'd also to take Latin. Latin. What a joke. That didn't work for me. It really didn't. Latin and accordion playing and piping just didn't have an awful lot in common. Anyway, this next tune we're going to hear is a Gaelic title. Can you tell us, please, a wee bit about it? Because Davy's in Dundee, I'm in Shetland, and our Gaelic is not good.
Yeah, so it's one of my absolute all-time favourite tunes. It's a wee kind of Gaelic air. A Gaelic called Wovaher, and I think it's probably most famous by Callum Kennedy singing it. Thankfully, I'm not singing it in this video. I think a lot of you will be glad to hear, but it's one of my favourite tunes anyway. So
cool.
What was it called again?
Wovaher, which it translates to my mother.
So.
Okay, that's right. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Man. Beautiful, man.
Brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic. It's an incredible melody, isn't it? It really is. And interesting to see a comment there as well for somebody who was saying about loving hearing Callum Kennedy singing it. I mean, Callum Kennedy done so much for Gaelic music in a way when you think about it. And a lot of people look back on some of that music and think, well, it was tartan and it was shortbread and all that. But it wasn't. Not really.
No.
The roots of it came from somewhere. And it's amazing. Beautiful poem. Beautiful. Lovely. Aye, right. So I was going to ask you influences.
Mm-hmm.
Who influenced you as a player then?
Well, I suppose I've got so many box players I could name. But I think for starting off with, anyway, the kind of main reason I got into the card, I was fascinated by there's a brilliant box player in the Inverness area called Michael McMillan. He plays with the band Torridon, and his Ceilidh band, it was one of the mod Ceilidhs when I was about 4 or 5, 5 or 6 maybe. Obviously, I was just fascinated by his playing, and Michael came back and forth to play you for Ceilidhs, and always been fascinated by his playing. So kind of in the early days, definitely Michael, and then there's so many, like Gary Innes, I suppose, probably another one. Kind of, more into when I was in school, and it's well after I went to the RCS as well, and obviously Ian Muir was a massive inspiration when I was there. He's just a knowledge, but also he kind of opened the door a lot of. I probably the kind of Scottish dance band scene. I didn't know an awful lot of players and all that from that scene. But Alasdair MacDonald, I mean, he's just amazing. And Tom Orr, really. And then I suppose, like, especially today, I definitely see like kind of some of the West Coast players like Patrick Morrison from Benwee and Ian Smith from Trail West and Angus McPhail finish there. For me, they're again massive influence.
Ian Smith there. Ian's a lovely player, and the night we had him on, it was just hilarious. He was great, and he came on and he said, "Boys, I'm sorry, I've left my piano box in Glasgow or something." He says, I'll have to play this old button box I've got a Leno. And he played a 5-row box, and he played about 4 sets of the 5-row box. Incredible, what a guy. And he got to the end and he said, "Don't ask me for any more because that's all I know in a 5-row box." But he covered it brilliantly. But a really nice guy. But when I've heard him playing with his on the dance music and that, it's great. And he's got, there's no doubt, I'm sure, Alasdair, you'll agree, that West Coast sound. And I think the West Coast sound is becoming more and more and more popular again. I think it's on a real run. And what initially at one point in time, some dance band guys would have went, "Oh no, you can't have a banjo in a band, or you can't have a guitar or something like that." I think that's changing a lot again, hopefully. Well, it maybe isn't it with the real traditionalists, but people listening are enjoying hearing that sound. It's something different rather than just that straight 6-piece sound that's very difficult to identify. And I mean, when you look at like say Fergie and all that, they've been doing that kind of stuff for years. They've been doing it for long time. Which was taking me on to your next track, because this is a kind of dance bandy set of jigs that you've done here. But we've got piano, drums, and we've got wooden flute in here this time as well. And it just gives a stunning, nice sound. Did you get a lot of influences from? What kind of bands would you're enjoying mixing other instruments and blending other instruments into your sound? Mm-hmm. Would you say that's come from the folk music side or the dance band side, or have you heard a bit of both? Or
I mean, I'd say I'm probably right in the middle. Like, I obviously love kind of the kind of dance band style and that kind of swing that it gets from it. But I think it's nice just to, like, obviously it's nice to tradition, keep it as it is, but I think it's quite nice just to experiment with different instruments as well.
Absolutely.
The kind of reason behind it. So.
I really enjoy it. I mean, we have a guitar in our band playing chords rather than a piano and that, and it just gives it's a wee different sound, and it's just great. And I'm really enjoying it. Looking forward, we're coming down to Celtic Connections to play this year actually, so I'm looking forward to getting down amongst you guys and meeting a lot of you guys in person and that. It's going to be great. because that's the only thing about when away up in Shetland. It's pretty hard to get back and forward sometimes. especially tonight, by the way. You wouldn't want to be in a boat out there tonight. Goodness sakes. It's ridiculous. But listen, sorry, Davey.
You don't get many boats in Mulgai.
No.
But you do get joined up hoosies, though.
Yeah.
Hoosies and shops that's joined to each other. You know, you don't get much of that. Oh, yeah. But anyway, right. This set of jigs. What have we got here? Can you mind them?
I'm just trying to remember them actually. Yeah. So the first tune is an Alasdair MacDonald tune called Dr. Ian McInoosh, I think it is. I probably had the most horrendous pronunciation of that name, but anyway, that's the jig's a great jig. And then another one I've composed called Stew of the Pup, which is about a wee pup, a border collie. I live in a croft back in Pillue. My bowman's sheep cows and all that. We've got loads of sheep dogs, and we've got a wee pup back in February. And it's no longer a pup anymore, but so it's written for that. And then the last one is it's a reel by Donald MacLeod, Donald MacLeod, called The Black Bush, which is an absolute cracker. So
it's a brilliant tune. You've mentioned there again another own composition. Have you got a lot of own compositions now? Have you got quite a catalogue already? Or?
I mean, I wouldn't say a catalogue, but I do enjoy writing tunes.
Yeah. Well, listening to the standard of the stuff, I hope you're going to get a book out before long because you've got some great tunes.
Yep.
And when it comes to it, speak to Davey. He'll steer you in the right direction. He's the tune master. Well, there's a new one. Who's that you've been working on this time? Oh, is that Craig's one?
That's from last year, but we'll get onto that later.
You've done Gordon Shan's and you've just done Leonard Brown's one and all that. Yeah, and he done my two last year. It's a real book. You're going to have some collection, Davey.
I've got a shelf full of them there.
Shelf full of them now. Anyway, let's have a set of tunes here. Vi Todd's tuned in from Milne. Thought, Vi, you're going to love this.
Here we go.
Woohoo! Alasdair, here's my working dog. Come along.
Oh, that's amazing.
Get off.
What's it working as? A cloud?
It's a cloud. She's only about 6 months old too.
Oh.
Go away. There we go. Magic. Absolutely brilliant play. Fantastic. Loved it. Albums, things like that. Have you done an album yet?
Oh, no, not yet. No, I've got some plans. Hopefully into next year, and maybe do some kind of solo stuff. But yeah, nothing at the moment. Yeah, I think it's just I'm quite enjoying just trying to get a few gigs here and there. So I was actually playing last night in Oban with the band from based in kind of Campbellton.
Oh, brilliant.
Ruval. So I played with them last night in the View in Oban, so that was really good fun. So yeah, quite enjoying it.
Did you find when you were in Glasgow, when you were studying in Glasgow, that you picked up quite a lot of Cayley work and playing and things like that as well then? Or?
Yeah, the one thing I would say about the RTS as well is good opportunities to for the kind of Cayleys and just performance opportunities. So I think I got a great experience to go to Berlin for I think it was playing for a Burns night at the British Embassy in Berlin. So I got a great opportunity to go and play out there, and I've had various other Cayleys through RCS and. Yeah,
I'm going to show my age here again. I played in Berlin before the wall came down, and I was out doing a gig with Gary West and Katie Harrigan and who else was there? One of the other Vale pipers, Malcolm. Anyway, they were all out there, and it was quite interesting. We asked if we could. We went to Checkpoint Charlie, and we asked if we could go up onto the wall and play the pipes, and the phoned across to East Germany, and East Germany said yes, you could, at your own risk.
Oh man!
So we decided maybe get a miss.
Yeah.
To be fair, last time they heard bagpipes, they probably built the wall.
Yeah. That's it. So, no, but it's good to get about, isn't it? It's good to get about playing and things. And you're still obviously got that West Coast connection, so you're going to be able to use them too. And Berlin's great, eh? Going somewhere like that's fantastic fun to go to. We've missed out on a couple of trips this year. I was supposed to go to Uganda and supposed to go to, been asked to go to Israel for a week to play. But we're kind of missing out on them. But hopefully next year. Hopefully.
I was supposed to be in Riyadh.
Yeah, that's right. You were, weren't you? Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to all these places again before it's too long. So what are you doing just now then? Just kind of playing just now then after graduating?
Yeah, so I've got a kind of 9 to 5 kind of Monday to Friday job at the moment as well, and just kind of working away, and they're just kind of gigs at the weekend. So just try to pick up gigs. Obviously things are just kind of slowly trying to make their way back after all the lockdowns and stuff. So but the diary's getting a bit fuller, which is good. So. Yeah.
We're always fingers crossed and hoping, aren't we, that things are going to start going back to normal a wee bit. Well, whatever the new normal is, but as long as we know what it is, we've got to cope with. I'm sure we'll start to end up coping with it, and it's learning to live with what we're going to have to do, really. But I noticed there was when we opened up, there was a kind of surge of gigs for a wee while, and then it went a bit quiet again. It was almost like people thinking about it again, kind of style thing. But we'll see what happens. Listen, we've got Alasdair. It's been a pleasure having you on tonight, but I can't believe we've got through so much time already. But we have got one more Gaelic song from you to hear tonight as well. And
Sandwood Bay.
It's what?
Sandwood Bay.
Yeah. So
how did you ken that?
Come on, research.
Oh man, got it again.
Tell me that.
Right. Story behind this one then.
Yeah, so this is another one that I did in my recital, and I heard it from Duncan Chisholm's album Sandwood. So it's written by Hamish Napier, and it's just called Bag Genevit. I probably mispronounced that. Sorry, apologies to all the Gaelic speakers listening, but it's basically Sandwood Bay up. I think it's near kind of Kinlochbervie. It's a lovely bay. And just on the coast, and I think Hamish Napier just wrote this tune about that. So it's a lovely years.
I think this was in your recital as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, this is one other track on recital. So.
Right. Looking forward to it. Enjoy, people at home. Yeah, that's fantastic. Incredibly haunting. Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
Very much.
I notice. Yeah, did you see Tony Reese is tuned in from South Africa? The piper there, Davy, and he'll be happy tonight. Was there not? Were they not playing? Were the Springboks not playing Scotland today?
Yesterday.
Was that yesterday? I think they beat us, didn't they?
Don't know.
Congratulations, Tony. Well done, the Springboks. Then I'll barbecue up for grabs. That'll be great. That's it. No, brilliant. Listen, Alasdair, it's been fantastic having you on tonight. Wish you all the success with the future, and hopefully we can catch up with you in real life at some point in time. And yeah, Tony's just verified that fact. But there we go. But really, really great. Hopefully, have you ever been up to Shetland yet?
No, I haven't. It's definitely my bucket. We're up there right enough. But no,
we'll have to see what we can try and do there. Then that'd be good.
Yeah,
I think you may enjoy yourself. They do have a thing after you've been here called Shetlag. They talk about when you get back home, Shetlag. You do suffer from Shetlag, and you will find out why. You will find out why when we get you here. Listen, Alasdair, thank you so much for coming on and giving up your time on a Sunday night for us. To all the folk, it's been amazing the size of the crowd tonight. It's all everybody's enjoying it and staying, and loads and loads of nice comments coming in. So thanks very much.
Yeah, and, thanks very much for having me. It's been great cracks.
Take care. We'll maybe get a tune in real life, as we said earlier on. We had a tune in Tunes in the House. Anne and I played a wee set, and it seems like so long ago now, but we'll get a tune in real life somewhere. That'll be good. Thanks, Alasdair.
Cheers.
Cheers. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. This is a great show tonight. I'm really enjoying this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the show tonight, please hit that share button. Share it about all over the place. Remember, time is running out to vote for Tartan Tunes in the Trads Music social media or something. What is it?
Trad Music in the media.
In the media, yeah. It's good. Davey's here to keep me right with all that stuff. That's on the Trad Awards, which is, it finishes at midnight tonight. I think that's when everybody is. What happens at midnight? Does everybody turn into pumpkins or something like that?
Listen, you already have.
Yeah, could have. Yeah. Our next guest as well, if you're rushing away to vote now, our next guest, Craig Muirhead, that's coming on in a minute or two. Craig is also up for Instructor of the Year, which we'll be talking about with his interview as well. So if you want to hang back to 10 o'clock to see if you like him as well, and then you can vote for him as well.
Well-deserving nominee.
Yeah, I heard, you know something, David? He did something that we didn't do.
What's that?
I know he put out a wee thing on Facebook saying, blah, 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 I promise I wouldn't do this, but if you vote for me, blah, 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 I'll buy you a pint.
He's buying me a pint then?
Yeah, there you go. How many hundreds of people are going to be standing there waiting with their tongues hanging out outside the bar?
Thousands of people.
Yeah, even the ones that didn't vote will be standing there. Oh yeah, Craig, I voted for you. Anyway, now listen, it's been great. Great. We're going to bring on our next guest, Davey. I'll hand over to you, and I'll take control of this side.
We're on to Sandra's done. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome one of Scotland's finest piping accompanists. It's hard to say. One of Scotland's finest instructors in piping, especially in the school system. We have the one, the only Craig Muirhead. Craig, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Build up.
That's a very nice introduction.
I thought I'd just point that bit out for you to make it easy in your pocket, buying drink for everybody.
I see that video last night. My mum actually phoned me straight away saying, "Oh, that was cringy." And I said, "I know, it was just a joke."
Had you been drinking?
No, I was sitting in the house. I thought it was quite funny.
She said yes. Yeah, I've been drinking. I don't remember it.
So she didn't share it.
But,
did she vote for you though?
I hope so.
That's 2 votes then. That's having me. No, it's great to have you, Craig. And especially with what you're doing with the schools pipe bands. But let's go right back to the very beginning. You're from Bannockburn, and you started with the Royal Borough Stirling pipe band, didn't you?
Yep, I did.
So how long was that now?
Well, I started when I was 8 years old. What happened was I went to Lorient with my sister's a good Highland dancer, and we went out to the festival in Lorient in August and stayed in a hotel that, I mean, I'd imagine you guys have been to the festival in Lorient, and there's a hotel called Les Pouchures where lots of people have found themselves staying at, and lots of traditional musicians have found themselves at the bar in the Pouchures, and we were staying there. And
See that comment?
My goodness.
See that?
Sam, I don't know if there's enough pints in the world to fill you guys up.
Hey, you can't say that about the judges. Come on.
So I was out in Lorient when I was 8 years old, and just happened to have the Royal Borough Stirling Pipe Band were there that year, and it was the first time I had really been around all of this music, and I just fell in love with it straight away and fancied learning the pipes. And at this point I had tried absolutely everything. I had been to football, I was rubbish. I had been to taekwondo, I was rubbish. I had tried little bits and bobs all over the place, and my parents encouraged me to do all of that, but I was useless at everything. So
did you try ballet? Did you try
no.
No.
I think I did try Highland a wee bit actually, and was rubbish at that clearly. So exactly, imagine me doing the Highland thing. So so we were sitting out in the kind of outdoor bar bit at the Pashures, the hotel in Lorient, and the guys from the Borough Stirling band were there, and they were just obviously great characters. There's a lot of every sort of local band has these characters, and they said to my folks, "Oh, just bring him down to the high school. That's where we practice." And I was first taught by a man who sadly passed away years ago now, called Duncan Ogilvie, and he gave me such a great grounding. And Duncan wouldn't necessarily be a name. It was well known in Stirling. Wouldn't necessarily be a name that across the world that people would have known. But like you were talking about earlier with Alasdair, he must have taught hundreds of good local players. And I used to go into the house on a Tuesday night. I remember going around and just playing tunes and getting little pointers from him. And so from that I went on to learn from Stuart Cassels. He was the pipe major of Stirling at the time, and obviously Stuart and I have been obviously kept in touch over all the years and have been close. So that was that was the start of it all for me. The Stirling band.
So after you were at Stirling, did you go straight into the big boys? Did you, or was there other bands as well?
I left Stirling, and I actually I had a bit of a bad record with pipe bands. I went to Drambuie under Ian, and then the sponsorship all fell through. And about 2 weeks after I had joined Drambuie, the band folded. And then I went to the Clan Gregor band, and it wasn't quite 2 weeks after I joined, it was 2 years after I joined, they folded. So I was like the kiss of death.
So what you're saying is, if you want a band to fold, you join.
Get me in the door. Yeah, that's right.
But luckily enough, you went on to join Scottish Power in grade 1, and they're still going. So you're not very good at folding bands.
No.
So a big band to topple that one. That would have been a big one.
Yeah, well, there's been bigger bands folded.
We actually, I'm looking forward to that, Davey, actually, because we've got Mr. Armstrong coming on the show at some point.
We do. We'll bring this up.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your time at Scottish Power then. What led you to go to the Power?
Well, I went to the academy, now the Conservatoire, and the band, the Power was just this upcoming band. All my peers who were doing well in solo competition and things were all going to play with Scottish Power, and Chris, he's just a sort of inspiring guy to play under in the band, and he was teaching me a bit at uni, and it was just the obvious choice. I actually considered going to other bands just because a lot of my friends were going to the Power, and I thought, maybe I should try and do something a little bit different, just to meet different folks, and then I thought, hold on, why would I not want to play in a band that's on the up with all my friends?
Absolutely.
And we just had the best time doing that.
I played a season with Chris. I played in Colburn, Iowa, pipe band.
Oh, really?
And 33 years ago, maybe 34. But Chris came with us and played a season in grade 3 because he was pally with Donald Williams' son, Colin Williams, the piper. And he came over and played a year with us. So that's how I got to know him. I remember running him home when he needed lifts home and things like that.
We had a great time. And as the time went on in the band, like, I mean, I'm not going to make out that I was heavily involved in anything because Chris absolutely bosses it and he's got all of his own ideas. But it was quite nice over the years when he would involve me in writing some of the harmonies and some of the arrangements for the medleys. I mean, like I say, I'm not taking too much credit because Chris absolutely bossed what was played. And if he didn't like it, he didn't like it, and that was fine with me. But although
you weren't involved with the Castle Dangerous one then, were you?
So I played the Castle Dangerous medley, but if I'm right, I think Ali Henderson wrote the arrangement of that. I think it was. I might be.
No, it was. Yeah, I have got music sitting somewhere as a 3-part harmony with Alasdair Henderson. Yeah.
Stunning. It was a stunning arrangement.
I just loved that. When we marched on playing that, I mean, I know there'll be people who are not involved in the piping scene listening in, but you're walking on to like a major championship and you've got sort of expert judges listening around and a full crowd. It's pressure, and we used to walk around playing these really technical hornpipes, and you were all pretty nervous. And then we walked on playing this 3/4 march that everyone knows, and not too much in it, and it was just lovely to play.
It really was.
Did you not get a really good result that day as well from that medley?
I think that was I think we were second in the worlds, maybe the year of maybe it was 2012 possibly. Yeah. And I'm sure we played that. Yeah, we did play that medley, definitely.
Yeah.
And it finished with Kyle Warren's tune Golden Brown.
Yeah.
And I can't help, like when I was playing with the band, if it was good, I couldn't hide it. If it finished and I thought it was good, I just had this big grin on my face. So I remember that day finishing off, and I mean, I think we were second. Field Marshal Montgomery were first, as they often are, and they were amazing too. But I just remember stopping and going, "Oh my goodness, we're kind of maybe we might get a chance here." That was good.
Yeah, no, it was the power. The power was the power. It was a real great band. Talking of music, are we going to have a wee track for this, man?
Yeah. Maybe? So you've done a bit of solo playing in the past. Yeah. And you went across to Winter Storm, and what year was this? 2012. Yeah. So it'd be probably was it the winter before that set or after that set?
What was that? Sorry, was it
the winter before or after the world's second? There you go.
It would probably be just around. It would probably be the one before. I'll give it a laugh. Actually, the year before I went out and I played really well. I just hope you've got the right video here, because I went out in 2011 and played, and it didn't go as well. I got to the sort of, because this was the final of this competition, and you had to play a march, to spare, reel, hornpipe, and jig all in one go. And I got to the hornpipe. I thought I was playing quite well, and still jet lagged up, looking at I didn't know Macallan Bagpipes were sponsoring this. I hope you've not got the wrong video on here.
Funny you mentioned that. Let's find out. What we'll do, we'll play it and we'll find out the tunes afterwards.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Very, very good.
Thank you.
And that
Very
got
musical,
you
Craig. Very musical.
second.
Thank you very much. So that was what was that? Lonach Gathering, Caberfay, Dr. McPhail's Reel, then Lucy Cassidy, and the last tune was Rona MacDonald, which was written by Duncan Johnson. And I think I might be making this up, but was that Rona? Would that be Rona Lightfoot's name?
You could be right.
Was it? Yeah, I had a feeling that was.
Yeah, I think so. But if anybody confirm that out there, there's a lot of folk watching tonight that could confirm that, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I might have made that, but I remember playing at the pipe idol competition at Piping Live, and Rona was sitting in the front row, and she was sort of nudging whoever was next to her, and I thought, and I put two and two together, and maybe
I think I remember hearing that somewhere as well. Yeah.
So as well as the power, obviously you've got your connections to Mr. Cassell's. You spent a bit of time working with the Chili Pipers in the past.
Yep. Yeah, I had a great time.
I believe you, obviously, you know Mr. Howie from various guises, and you went to China with him, didn't you?
I did. We went to China back like in maybe 2013, I think it was. And Kyle and I shared a room most of the time and just like laughed the whole. We were away for a long time. I think we were away for like 8 weeks or.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big tour, and we were playing almost every night. It was really intense, but good fun. And Kyle and I, like I say, we were sharing a room often. And the best thing about that trip actually was that half of it we had Rab Matheson playing with us as a Chili Piper, and then that was just what a hoot. I mean, we just had.
Really, I never knew that Rab guested with the Chili Pipers.
Yeah. There was a point, and honestly, half of that tour it was Rab, and we just had the best time. I mean, for two young pipers like myself and Kyle, who were early 20s, and spending that amount of time with someone like Rab, it was just like, mind blown. Some of the stories and things.
Because we had him on the show, and he done his interview from Fort Ventura that night.
He's a lucky man.
He had done a load of work towards it, and found us a lot of old stuff and stuff. It was great. It was a great show, but he's great crack. He's just great crack. That's the thing. He's just brilliant. The patter's amazing sometimes.
Oh yeah, and I didn't know him well. Obviously, I knew who he was because actually the shots in Dykehead medley from when they won the Worlds in 2000 was one like that kind of got me into when I was getting into piping, that got me into it in a bigger way. Yeah. I was really excited listening to that, and I can still remember the album cover and everything of that World Championship CD. And I remember actually sitting in a wee hotel bar after one of the gigs and telling him this. And then we actually sung through the whole medley, playing it on our cans. This is absolutely incredible.
It was great.
But you're not just known for your piping prowess. You also are quite well-known piano player. What came first?
Actually, the piano came first. Well, what I did was, remember I told you I did everything. I tried everything when I was young.
This explains lots. Explains why you're such a musical piper.
Because I did something else.
I don't mean that. No, I'm not meaning that badly. But when you're talking about being into harmony and all that kind of stuff and enjoying putting arrangements together, piano as a bass, can't beat it.
Absolutely, I agree. I did when I was about as young as 4 or 5. So I think maybe 5. I went to school at 4. So I was 4 or 5, and someone in my class was taking keyboard lessons, and I decided that might be something that I'd like to try. So she must have been quite a young girl, came to the house and gave me some keyboard lessons, and I did them for a few years. And then I stopped taking formal lessons, and it's a really interesting one for me because I think that's the best thing I ever did. And I don't mean for my technique, which probably suffered, but just I still played my little keyboard every day after stopping taking lessons. And I just got to the point where I knew the intervals, well, it just helped develop my ear. in such a big way. I'd sit and work out tunes, and now that's something. And I'm not good at everything. I mean, my reading's not brilliant or anything like that. But when it comes to my ear, I can sit and listen to a tune and probably play it almost immediately. And that's I've definitely put that down to just that time in my life where I wasn't actually taking lessons, but I was still playing all the time and working things out from such a young age. So it was that came first.
It's almost like training your brain and training your ear to work with each other.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Getting that link going. And once you get the link going, and then once that link's going, it's getting it to go to your fingers. And once that happens, you've sussed it. So it's
absolutely,
it's really it. Really, it's definitely, because it puts so much more character into a person's playing and everything like that. Yeah. If they've got that individuality, that they've had to work things out themselves. So I'm sure you're onto something there.
Yeah.
And what you said.
Sorry,
Greg. No, Karen.
No, I was just going to say. Then I started taking lessons again when I went to high school on the piano, and Mrs. Little, my piano teacher at school, was great, and actually quite sympathetic over the fact that I wasn't the best at reading. I worked in it. I had to work in it, and I did, and I got better. But always kind of picked pieces for me to play that she knew I was going to enjoy, and she was really great teacher, so that worked out quite well.
So we're going to jump into another video here, which shows your piano skills, your piping, and your singing.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
So this actually, in lockdown, I'll tell you how the singing kind of thing came about. I've always loved singing, okay, and I'm not a singer. I don't call myself a singer at all, but I've always really enjoyed it. I think it came to growing up, and this sounds very cheesy and twee, but it's the truth. Growing up in the farmhouse, and on a Sunday after, I went to the church with my grandpa, I'd sit at the piano and we'd sit and play music and sing some songs and things together. I've just always really got a buzz out of it, and I also, when I went to the academy, got to know Anne Nielsen and Gordina McCulloch extremely well, and became very close with them, and used to sit and just gossip over coffee in the cafeteria at the academy, and they got me singing a few songs and things. And then the other year, I played at their memorial concert at Celtic Connections. I was piping and I was playing some piano for Robin Stapleton, and I got speaking to Joe Miller, who you'll know. Joe Miller, who was involved in setting up the course and everything years and years ago. Yeah. And she was asking, "Oh, are you playing much?" And I've gone, "Well, not really. I'm mostly teaching." And she goes, "Why not?" And I said, "Well, I don't know if anyone really wants to listen. I'm not that good a singer. I like my playing, but I'm teaching now." And I said, "And I reckon I don't always play a style of music that lots and lots of people are going to like to listen to." And she said, "Who cares? If you enjoy doing it, you're teaching. That's your job, but your music's there. Why are you not playing the music that you want to play, or singing if you want to sing?" And I thought, actually, honestly, that one conversation, she won't even remember we had this conversation. But I thought, I'm gonna, I'll go get some songs going, and just for my own enjoyment.
Yeah.
So here we're going to have a Mark Knopfler number here. We're going to Piper to the End, and it's your own arrangement, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I put it together. What I will also say is this was in lockdown, and I'm not good with all the technical stuff, so I was also kind of experimenting with my working out how to do the video and things on my. All
right, you've done pretty well, I would say.
You've done a lot better since that first video, haven't you? As we'll see throughout the day. But so let's listen to this, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
When I leave this world behind me, to another I will go. And if there are no pipes in heaven, I'll be going down below. If friends in time be severed, someday we will meet again, and I'll return to leave you never, be a piper to the end. This has been a day to die for. Now the day is almost done. Up above, a quiet seabird turns to face the setting sun. Now the evening dove is calling, and all the hills are burning red. And before the night comes falling, clouds are lined with golden thread. We watched the fires together, shared our quarters for a while, walked the dusty roads together, came so many miles. This has been a day to die on. Now the day is almost done. Here the pipes will lay beside me, silent with the battle drum. If friends in time be severed, someday we will meet again, and I'll return to leave you never, be a piper to the end.
Fantastic, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're cringing
Did you like
over
my
here,
lockdown
aren't you?
haircut? Did you like my lockdown haircut? I did that myself.
Yeah, it's better than my haircut anyway. Oh, jeez, mine was horrendous at the start of that. First time that the roper was great. It's just chopped it all off. That just kind of proves the fact that you've got a kind of an ear and a talent with the arrangements. And I think that's why a lot of pipe bands and pipers call on you to support them in concerts and things like that, because you are a piper yourself, and you kind of have ideas that are both inside the box and outside the box at the same time. You can go, right, how about this? And they'll go, no, well, how about this? Oh, yeah, that's better. And you can bounce between the two.
Yeah, Davey, just to back you up there completely, what you're saying, I've had a couple of messages, but one message for Donald McPhee, who we have a great respect for as a piper. Donald's an amazing chap, lovely man, great player. And he said to me, Craig Muirhead, the all-round package in my mind, he said. Now, that I can see, as we're going through this interview, I see exactly what he's meaning. And it's a great compliment for somebody like Donald as well. It's lovely. And
flattered about that, Donald. I respect Donald a great deal.
Yeah, great.
I mean, you got the piping, the singing, the piano, and the looks. Is that right?
Well, the looks. That's a funny one because I had to lose a bit of weight. I was piling on the weight, working up at Strathallan, eating all the free food and everything else that comes with that, sitting at my desk. So the last few years I've been getting into the running, so I'm feeling a bit
right.
You should get Mr. Howie swimming with you.
Oh, he's good at
I'm getting back to swimming.
Yeah.
But during lockdown, you started a new project called the Lockdown Piping Club. I had to check the full name of it. The Lockdown Piping Club. How did that come about?
So the I was getting lots of messages from people in lockdown saying, I've got a chanter line in the house I used to play years ago. Do you have any materials you can send over? Or kids that I taught at Strathallan who had, started out and then maybe left, saying, "Oh, Mr. Muirhead, I'm looking to get the chanter back out. Can you send me some stuff through?" And I thought, I wonder how many people are sitting with a chanter at home. It's the classic conversation I have with everyone. Oh, biggest regret in my life, I never learned the chanter at school, or I started, I took 3 lessons, never practiced, and I gave it up. And I thought, I bet there's thousands of people out there that have a chanter line in the house. So I thought, why don't I do these sort of wee workshops online? And and I thought I might get like 40 or 50 sign-ups, and I'd have a bit of a laugh, and it would keep me entertained in lockdown, because like I live alone and things, so I was looking for stuff to do, and I was definitely not getting my fix of music, playing or teaching. So I wanted to do something. So I started it off, and then within like 2 weeks, I had over 1,000 sign-ups. And it was, it was on BBC News, and it was on Heart FM radio, sign up for this, and they just kept coming in. And we ended up having a really good, I had a really good time doing it. And we got to the point where, over 5,000 people have signed up for it, and they still are signing up, which is quite funny for me. I just think that's brilliant, because all the stuff's still on YouTube. So, but what's really nice is now I'm getting messages from people who did it saying, "Oh, I'm going to my local tutor. I've taken up lessons with this person over in Canada, or my local person," and I'm really delighted at that, because the other thing was, it was to try and support the piping scene, because if you think 2 years of no new starts is not a good thing for traditional music generally, and I'm genuinely worried about that. I've been really lucky at Strathallan, but we are fortunate, so we had the facilities to just go bang online straight away, and I've not lost any pupils, but I've got friends working in other schools who are down 50% of their kids learning the pipes, and some of these people have been in their jobs for 10 years, 15 years building it up, and then in one go you've lost 50% of your pupils. It's really worrying. So I'm hoping that if even 10 of the people who did it keep going, then
exactly. It's always even a handful is a benefit. What are you up to, Peter?
Sorry, there's somebody at the door. Hold on, the dog's gone nuts. 2 seconds.
Sorry, I'll carry on chatting to Craig. It's fine.
That happened to me once in a piping club thing, when I was doing a live lesson. Somebody was at my front door ringing my bell about 5 times. So that was quite fun. I know it's like,
oh, he's back again. But one of the things you did early on within the pandemic is you arranged the song of the moment. It was the tune of the moment for the NHS and kind of the folk clapping on a Thursday, and you arranged it, and you offered the arrangement for a donation to NHS charities. Was that what came first? What came first? This doing the arrangement, or try to do something for the NHS? Well,
if you think back to that time, everyone was trying to do something to help, and I'm not saying that helped. Everyone was just thinking, all right, what can we do? And I think I remember seeing there was something about getting people to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Or just called Over the Rainbow, isn't it? There was something to get people to play that, and I thought, well, actually, no. And so I put it together and sent it around the kids. Actually, that's what I did. Yeah. The kids at school. That's funny.
Yeah.
How did he know?
So I was sent around the kids, and then I recorded it, and so many people liked it and shared it, and asked me for music. I thought, if everyone who asked for music, donated £1, then would have 100 quid, or whatever for charity. So then people were very generous and donated, more than that, and it was lovely. So it was nice to just be able to send some money on. Like I say, loads of people were doing so much more than that. It was, of course, while I was doing it, I just thought, I might as well raise some money for a
Yeah. I done some online concerts. Just Carmen suggested one night, why don't you do some online concerts? And I done it for the same thing for NHS.
Yeah, absolutely.
I done it for NHS Shetland, and it was incredible because there was people donating for places like Australia and things.
I know.
And they were saying, "Oh, we were on holiday in Shetland one time, and the NHS, I cut my hand or something, and the NHS were so helpful, and then they were donating. It was amazing. It was just incredible."
Well, that's funny you say that, because the other thing I did through the Piping Club thing, I ended up offering. I teamed up with Chas, Children's Hospices across Scotland, and was doing a Piping Club thing on a Saturday morning for people affiliated to the charity, so like parents of kids who were in one of the hospices, and that was great fun. But what I did for that, I just sent a wee memo around all the people who were doing the Piping Club thing, and said, "Listen, I'd love to be able to provide chanters to these people," so it was completely free, and I was completely overwhelmed. We ended up. I needed a few £100 for chanters, and I ended up donating an extra £700 to the charity. Just people all over the world were just, we were all sort of, we were just all not sure what's going on and trying to help in any way. People were obviously trying to do that with you over in Australia, NHS Shetland.
Exactly. So let's hear your arrangement for Pipes of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
That's great.
Let's follow the Albert Road. That's a really long note at the end.
It was long.
That's great.
I need to learn how to smile when I'm playing the chanter.
Highland Cathedral can get the push now.
Aye.
We can have Somewhere Over the Rainbow instead.
Yeah, it's nice. But it's funny because it doesn't actually fit in the pipes because it's got that, the seventh note's not sort of flattened. So you just have to be a bit more creative and move it into D and yeah. Do you think? Can I ask you something? Actually, do you think that's playing with bands like the Chili's as well, the Chili Pipers, and they do such a good job of doing this stuff. Now, a lot of it is outside the pipe range, as we know, 9 notes. Yeah. It's all out there, but they've come across such good ways with harmony, etc., making tunes work, etc. Yeah. At one point in time, people used to try and play 30 years ago, tried to play a tune from the charts or something like that in the pipes, and it just sounded hellish. It just sounded terrible. But now that's progressed on further, that we've said, right, wait a minute, let's use the instrument as a harmony instrument when it needs to be, and etc., etc. And it's opened up that scope with playing in ensembles, etc. That's made it so good. I think pipes as an accompanying instrument is a good thing, and that's something I maybe even at the school and things would try and get involved in different ensembles and not just be, the band's coming in, so everyone shut up and let the pipe band take over, as we like to do, and we do, and it works in certain things. But no, pipes as sort of an accompanying instrument is really good, I think, and you hear that in these sort of. A lot of the bands, a lot of the trad bands, the young guys, going around now or
Yeah.
doing that
Yeah.
recently.
But you're not shy with your arrangements, are you? Because you did release a book not long ago, which can only be described as cheese with cheese,
Yeah.
and then some more cheese. You did an arrangement of pop songs for the bagpipes.
Yeah.
But why not? If it's quality arrangement, who cares?
Well, that's it. So what I did with that, as you know, because David was involved in putting the book together, and I'll just say, if it wasn't for Davey, I've got 2 books. If it wasn't for Davey, I wouldn't have any because he's very persistent with me, and I'm useless. I'm not the most organised person.
No,
He's done the same for me. I've got 2 books now, and he's managed to get both mine out as well. So it's really good.
I'm still pushing for another book from Craig for well, it should be out for next month. It's not going to happen, but maybe next time.
Yeah, the only thing is, Davey, that I didn't phone you on your wedding day though.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Write out a tune for me. So.
Oh my goodness. So I was having to do this project, and they needed the music on a certain program, and I can't, as I said before, useless with all the tech stuff. You know, I'm not old. I'm 31. You would think I'd be better, but I'm not. I'm useless. And I was sitting panicking, thinking this needs to be in tomorrow. I know who could help me. I know who knows how to work all this stuff. Davey Hunter. So I'm texting away, Dave. Oh, it'd be great if you could help me out, and I'll even pay you. You know, I'm desperate. I need help. And he's like, yeah, I'm at my wedding meal. I thought, oh my goodness, I've been hassling all. But you were very nice texting back.
Yeah. To be fair, the speeches had happened. I was waiting for the main course to come out.
It didn't make much sense. He must have been drunk.
No, it's not actually funny. No, it was the funny thing was I was sitting there. I was replying saying, "Yeah, no hassle at all. When do you need it for?" It's like, "Need it for today." Yeah, that's not going to happen. I got my phone, turned to my now wife, and went, "Craig message."
Yeah. Davey, you could have done the decent thing and nipped out for half an hour and wrote the tune for Craig.
It's not even that. I didn't have a laptop with me or anything. Nothing with me. But no, it's no. You've kind of got a grasp of arrangements and knowing what, because you work with kids as well. You know what songs they're listening to. You know what they want to play, and you're kind of taking that and then as well as that, adding in some of the older tunes, because you got things like "Simply the Best" by Tina Turner in there, which of course is very close to your heart.
I'm a Rangers man for my sins.
You are a Rangers man.
It is.
They're looking for a manager just now. If you
Point actually.
Yeah.
Well, don't.
You're a bit. Craig, you're a bit of an all-rounder. This could be your. This could be your friend.
I'll pipe them onto the pitch. That'll get them round up.
Yeah. But yeah, but that's. Sorry.
No, just the arranged book. That was the. You're right with the kids. They were all asking at school, "Oh, can I play this tune? Can I play this tune?" And I was writing out all these pop tunes for them because, some traditionalists might not agree with this, but we're at the point now where keeping. I'm loving these comments. Is that your wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No. So some of these, what was I trying to say? The pop songs, yeah, they wanted them, and I thought, if this is going to keep them interested,
yeah,
I don't care if it's not traditional piping.
Yeah,
I want
them. But the big difference between other music books and arranged by Craig Muirhead, now available in shops, is that we did it in 2 keys.
Yeah,
we did it in A, and with the A chords, and B flat with the B flat chords, so that you could essentially, a school that was not necessarily great at doing arrangements could go open up, piano there, and the pipes of B flat chanter could play and could play along, and there was no hassle.
I'm going to have to get these books. I'm going to have to get these books and get my accordion players and Shetland playing some of this stuff. This sounds good.
I'll send you one up.
This sounds good.
I'll send you one up.
But I agree with you totally there when you say about keeping players going. I mean, I'm teaching all the time in schools, and interestingly, when you were saying earlier on about the new starts as well, it's been really difficult in this last wee while to get new starts. Luckily, I've held on to quite a lot of my pupils, but getting new starts has been really difficult as the older ones have gone.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to come up with new ways to do that, putting videos around schools and things and saying, do you fancy starting and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But I remember having a conversation when I had the music shop in Shetland at one point, and they brought out these various different coloured fiddles for the kids to learn on, and they were all blue and green and all that. And some of the old traditionalists went, oh, this is terrible. And I was like, yeah, but how is it terrible if it's a green fiddle and that kid goes home and it's attracted to it every night and picks it up because it's green and plays it? Why not? They'll work it out themselves someday what they really want to use. So
yeah, do you know? There's a boy who I taught a bit at Strath, and he was taught before he came to Strath too. So I'm not taking too much credit because he's very talented. Robbie McIsaac, and Robbie will tell you, a great player. Robbie will tell you that he started playing because of listening to the Chili Pipers. Now Robbie is now one of the best young pipers in Scotland, and he started because he listened to the Chili's, and and that's why if it gets them in the door, they're going to branch out into all this different stuff. To let them play things that they enjoy. Definitely.
Absolutely.
But kind of bringing it up to kind of present day when we're talking about the arrangements. I know they didn't do the arrangement on this, but we're going to have a video from Strathallan School. It's called The Big Sing, and it's a brilliant video. And when I showed Peter this, he was just kind of dumbfounded.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've actually listened to this about 6 times or 7 times in the last couple of years. Yeah. It's just, and when you see it visually and you see all these young people getting into it, just, how long have you been tutoring at Strathallan now, Craig?
This is actually my 8th year, which I can't believe. So I was 23 when I started. I was just a young guy when I started.
But not only are you tutoring, but you're director of traditional music and piping.
Yeah. So this year, So we, the piping and drumming program's grown like massively. So when I started, it was quite there were some good players and things. It was quite a small thing though, over in the corner of the school, and the people who were involved in it liked doing it, but it wasn't like out there in the whole school. So what kind of tried to do was just get as many kids involved as possible, and it's now become so. Now we've got about 25% of the school are playing like pipes or drums, and
that's amazing.
We've got about 125 weekly lessons happening. I've got a department. There's 5 of us in the department now, so I'm the sort of head of department, and I love that. So then from that, the head and the school, we wanted to kind of branch out into other styles of traditional music, not just piping and drumming. So they've given me sort of a fancy title this year, Director of Traditional Music and Scottish Culture. So I'm doing I'm getting people up from, mainly from Glasgow just now, young trad musicians in to do some workshops, just trying to build that culture in the school of playing this style of music.
Wow. Well, if you ever need an accordion instructor from Shetland to nip down for a weekend, that might be something
absolutely
fun.
Will. We absolutely will. So we've not got any box players. Not getting any box players just now, and what I haven't actually told you, Peter, is I'm obsessed with the box. If I could ditch every instrument and play the accordion, I would. I've got one up there, and I can play the right hand fine, but left hand.
You know, Robert Matheson. When Robert's totally fascinated by accordion and said he grew up listening to accordion music as well. And same thing. He said listening to people like Bobby McLeod playing a 2/4 on the box really inspired him to try and play it like that in the pipes.
Definitely. Bobby McLeod was an influence on me as well, and I only really maybe started listening to stuff like that when I started at the academy. But absolutely, I mean,
it's interesting.
So much like that. It's just music. It's just really music.
But this video, Davey, amazing.
It's all about timing because this video came out last week.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Wait till you see this, folk. Young people just enjoying.
What do you want to say, Craig? What do you want to say?
No. Well, I'll wait till you've played it. I'll tell you the rest of it.
Here we go.
Chopping off a quarrel between the present and the past. We may sacrifice the future. It's the bitterness of last. So don't yield to the fortune. Sometimes here's fate. You may have a new perspective on a different day. And if you don't give up, don't give in, you may just be okay.
It's awesome. Gives me goosebumps. That
It's also an example of pipes playing as harmony rather than a melody instrument.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the pipes
and
are
just
there,
yeah.
but they're not overpowering.
Nice and low in the mix, and just absolutely, but still adding something to it. The thing with that was my colleague Jason McCauley, who's just joined us as director of music at Strath. He is the mastermind behind all of that. But what he did to stress me out the day before, we were all good to go on the Thursday, and it ended up the weather was glorious on the Wednesday. The weather was going to be terrible on the Thursday, so he moved it forward 24 hours. And Wednesday morning is my long lie when I get to not be in work for 8:30 or 8 o'clock, but be in work for maybe like 9:30. So I'm plodding around the house and having a cup of tea and logged onto my emails. And we've moved the whole thing 24 hours forward. So I'm like, just trying to run around the house, find my drone tuner and get my kilt on.
At least
the kids were brilliant. The kids were just brilliant.
That's a drum corps size to be proud of for a school band.
Do you know, and there's kids missing there.
Yeah.
There's kids missing.
Well, David Richardson's missing as well.
David Richardson, he's up teaching. He's doing a great job teaching the drummers. And
it's incredible, and seeing young people, that's so inspirational for all the other ones round about them to hear that sound as well. That for pulling them into music, you're doing an amazing job. It's fantastic. It's just, we all know that once you get the train moving, you can keep it moving and get that momentum going, and it can just be wonderful. And they kind of urge and they kind of take each other on, and they just help each other. And it's young people are fantastic. Actually, they're great to work.
Yeah, and you know, like they're not. Young folks aren't hard to inspire. You just need to get, just all about relationships and like you say, let them play the music that they want to play, and they'll come with you.
That's it. Yeah, we can play this, but we also need to do the 2-4 marches.
Yeah.
I mean, that sort of.
Yeah.
There's room for everyone. Everything.
Absolutely.
Is Davey, have we got enough time for another track?
So you've got a choice, Craig, right? We can either do Farewell to Bannockburn,
right,
or we can do Low School Jigs.
Well, I really like the tune Farewell to Bannockburn, which is bad me saying because I wrote it. But I also think to finish off, you might be as well playing the set of jigs, because maybe folks will enjoy that a bit more. I'm playing some piano on that.
Yes.
Pretty impressive.
So you're playing piano. Ross and Ali are playing guitar and sitar.
Yeah, that's right.
My
And
mate
Zoom.
from school, Joe Ratter, is playing double bass.
Yeah, Joe's in double bass.
Who else?
That was amazing fun. Because I'm working with those guys. I mean, I'm just like in awe of them.
What concert was this one again? What concert is this?
The Inveraray District's concert called Ascension. It was in the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall.
Okay, so
championships.
Were you playing with Scottish Power at that time as well? Then when you
I was, and I missed
Really?
a pipe band practice on that night to the weekend to play for Inveraray. Can you believe that?
you never thought about a couple of modulations and key changes just to throw them off every so often.
Yeah, I was sitting playing some dodgy notes at the bottom, so people thought the bass drums were out of tune.
So not only that, we've got Rachel and Gina dancing as well. They're from Campbelltown.
Yeah.
I was in Basel in Germany with them at one point as well.
Yeah, great.
Small world.
Yeah. That was great. That was a brilliant night. It was completely packed out. Inveraray were like on the rise at that point.
Yeah.
I was playing with great musicians. Ali hadn't had me in the pub like 7 minutes before. We had our in-ears in, ready to go, and he's like, "Well, do you want to go over to the pub?" And I thought, it's like 23 minutes past 7 and the concert starts at 7. And he said, "Oh, no, we'll have time." So we went over to the Athol and literally I had a pint, walked back over in the stage door and walked onto the stage, and the concert hall was full of people. And I was hitting the first note of the concert. I was hitting the very I didn't have a minute. I just and it started.
That was your chance. That was your chance to have not hit a B flat, but to have hit a C or something. That was the chance. No, this is a great part. This is a brilliant one for the show.
Before we get there, are you supposed to be on the next concert with them?
No. The one that's been delayed. No. I'm not sure who's doing it, but they'll have a good band.
Oh well, let's listen to this, and we'll have a final chat and we'll come back.
It's a magic spectacle. Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant. One thing, David, I think we have to mind and bring. Get off, dog. We have to remember and bring up is that Craig, and I'm sure all you folk out there, yeah, Carol Hunter has just said, get your votes in, folks.
Thanks, Mother.
Yeah, thanks, Mother. Yeah, because Craig is in the Instructor of the Year for the Trad Awards. Have we got a link for the Trad Awards? Like that one, yeah. So, folks, you can either watch it back or it's on the Tartan Tunes page anywhere. It's on Craig Muirhead's page, everywhere. We've got it all over the place. So it would be wonderful if you could vote for us. It would be awful bra. And that way we can see how many beers Craig really does have to buy in the next year and see if...
Do you think if we ask Simon, if Craig wins and we ask Simon how many votes he got, he'll tell us?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But we need mortgage in the house at this rate.
and we can work out then that Craig will be working at Strathallan for about the next 48 years.
Well, to be fair, he's doing that anyway, way that the pensions go.
Exactly.
Listen, that's been an amazing show and brilliant having you on. Fantastic.
Thank you for having me. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's I'm struggling to keep up with the comments, guys. Everybody's saying how good this has been tonight.
No, it's been a fantastic show again. And thanks for Craig stepping in at the last minute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And it's been absolutely brilliant having you on. I can't wait to get together sometime and have tunes.
Definitely. Did you say you come down to Celtic Connections? No, did you?
Yes. Well, no, I don't think so. No, because I would have liked to come down, but there's only one person allowed to go this year.
I know.
Just because of the COVID restrictions, so it's kind of holding us back a wee bit. But
now, Craig, I'm going before. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to ask you this again. I won't be there. I'll be at a wedding. Do not text me. But
it's not his wedding, so you've got a good chance of getting a
exactly.
But no. I thought he was going to say, I'm not there, so if you win it, when do I get my beer?
I thought you were going to ask me to go and collect your award.
There's always that.
We're coming down for Celtic Connections. There's a Shetland night on the 22nd of January.
Brilliant.
So we're having a big night that night. So I'm looking forward to that. So we're kind of coming down for the weekend. So it's good.
Excellent. Well, I'll be through, so hope to catch up. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait either to go back to a competition, a pipe band competition again, and wander around and just speak to people, because we've had so many folk at the show and things now, and it'd just be lovely to go around and chat to folk and say, how are you getting on, you know?
Exactly.
Just to be able to stand there and go, here in the early Ian go, oh.
Yeah. Oh, look, Sandra says, you mean to say? Sandra said, Craig was a stand-in.
He was a stand-in.
He was. He came on. We were meaning to get him on the show, but we got him on a lot quicker than he thought he was going to be. So, but we heard that he had dealt with the Strathallan thing shooting the day before. With no problems at all, you know. So we thought, no bother, don't give him any warning at all, then that's fine.
On that note, Craig, we'll let you go, but good luck with the Trad Awards, and we'll see you in the new year, if not before.
Brilliant. Great. Thanks
very much.
Brilliant.
Wow, what a guy! What a guy! That man oozes music. I can see how he is an inspiration to all these young people. He just oozes music.
What we didn't mention, though, was the fact he actually was at the opening of the handover for the Commonwealth Games as well. Didn't mention that.
Didn't mention that. And the other thing we didn't mention is he plays for Prince Charles a lot as well.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Well, I don't. I don't. Here's Luna come to say, listen, David, that's been a fabulous night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. If you care to vote for us, you've got 2 hours or so to do so. That would be magic if you could. And there's Vi saying Craig could come and see us all at Milner. Thought when we're there that afternoon, it's going to be some afternoon in Milner. Thought I'll tell you. some afternoon. Anyway, thanks very much,
Is
ladies
there a
and
floor
gentlemen.
spot going on the thought?
What's that?
Is there a floor spot going?
Yeah.
Bring the pipes. Bring the pipes,
You can
mate.
come and you can bring the pipes. You're most welcome. Because my boys are quite good. They can play in B flat.
Oh, can I though?
Didn't confuse them. Don't confuse them. Right. Okay. Right. Thanks very much, Davey.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank Fiona for putting up with you and just sending one comment to Craig there.
Yes, she's been waiting all night to make a dig. So
I'm going to see Karen and Co now and see. I think they're possibly asleep already. So I'm going to see
what
what's
a shame.
happening. And the dog's not wanting to go outside because it's pouring with rain in Shetland again. Would you believe that?
Rain in Shetland, yeah.
Right. Anyway, take care. See you soon.
See you next week. Bye for now.
Thanks, folks.